Hey, good morning, everybody. Matt Dolan here with Remax City. First video of 2024. Just wanted to give you guys a little update on what's going on, boots on the ground on my side of things, what I'm seeing in the market, what I'm going to be predicting in the coming months and in the following year. Maybe we'll talk about some of the different policies that are going to shape the landscape of real estate over the next 3 to 6, even 1 year moving forward. So simply put, boots on the ground. We came into 2024. I had a couple listings that were left over from 2023. I decided to pull them from the market in December. I don't think December is a great month to have listings just sitting. Typically, people start to slow down over Christmas, especially when we reach the 14th onwards to New Year's. So we pulled those listings. We don't want to just accumulate days on the market. And so when I pulled these listings from the market, we decided to re-put them on January 3rd, coming out of the weekend there after New Year's. And as soon as we did, prior to taking them off, we just weren't getting any offers. We put them back on January 3rd. Super busy open houses, and we got an offer on one of the most difficult sales that I have actually ever had, first week on the market. So lots of activity going on, and that, of course, is probably a result of the good news that came out of the Fed in the States over December. Jerome Powell in the States announcing that there would be three pullbacks, the market anticipating 6 or 7 interest rate pullbacks. Of course, when the interest rates pull back, it's cheaper to borrow money, which increases the demand for homes. Of course, in Canada, Tiff Macklem, Bank of Canada, he didn't explicitly say that we were going to have price pullbacks, but he said he would start reviewing the numbers. I did a video on this in December discussing some of these key figures, but we have to stay competitive with the states if we want our dollar to stay strong. So basically, you've probably seen a million realtors parroting the same thing. Interest rates are going to pull back. Interest rates pull back. We don't explicitly know that, but writing is on the wall that the interest rates are probably going to start pulling back. It is an election year in the U.S., so that could play into things. But of course, inflation is kind of getting under control, and we've been seeing it trending in the right direction. So we're going into that's already been taken into account. Realtors parroting this narrative that interest rates pull back, and so what you're seeing is stronger buyer demand. So buyers are out there in full force. Of course, if you're thinking about making a move, you don't want to wait until it becomes impossible. You want to get ahead of that curve. That's just my advice. Of course, I'm not a pushy realtor by any means. If anybody knows, you've worked with me, I'm definitely not a pushy person when it comes to sales. You have to make your own decisions. But my advice, obviously, you want to get back out there, just like it seems like a lot of other buyers are right now. So what I'm predicting for 2024, you've got these interest rates that are going to pull back. Obviously, as soon as this happens, we have a very resilient market. So you've seen since over COVID, there was all of these predictions, people waiting for lose their shirts, 20, 30% pullbacks, which never came to fruition. You've also seen mass policies on immigration. Three key figures that are kind of interesting: 250,000, 500,000, and 1 million. So 250,000 to 300,000 is the amount of homes that we build in Canada each year. 500,000 is the immigration target on what we're going to bring into Canada, and 1 million plus is what we're actually the growth of the country. Year over year, we're seeing over 1 million people into Canada, with 96% of that coming from immigration and 4% through natural causes. So what does that create? You're seeing this. If you're on social media and you're on any rental groups, or you see in the city of Coquitlam rental groups, downtown rental group, you see this huge argument between tenants and landlords, and landlords are greedy, and they're just they're driving these prices up. You got to take into consideration, tenants. the costs that the exorbitant costs of having to live in a home and maintain these interest rates that have gone up, and landlords can only increase 2 or 3% per year. And then you've got to take into account, which is obviously a taboo subject for everybody to be talking about, but we're seeing in the statistics that more and more people do actually want to start talking about it because it's getting out of control. Is we've got this housing crisis for years, and now this mass immigration. And what happens to everybody that we bring in? I'm not saying that we shouldn't be doing it. Immigration is something that our country is built on, but we do have to take into consideration when we're thinking about the housing crisis and what's happening with housing prices, and in particular even rental price increases, is we're bringing in 1 million, or our population is growing by 1 million per year, and we're only building 250,000 houses. Now, if you look at what the government is saying, is like, oh, we'll just build more houses. But who's building the houses? The developers, and the developers are profit driven, and there's only so much that they can build. And at these interest rates, it doesn't make sense for them to be building. And even if we pull back the interest rates, as it is, we're a shortage of skilled labor to begin with. So how are we going to build to keep up with the immigration? Topple that on top of we're a very emotional based we're a very emotional based market where any sort of good news, everybody starts buying. And we're very emotional based in the sense that we like good news. Bad news, we're very resilient. I mean, since February of 2022, what we've seen is that was the peak of the market. And that is when interest rates started to take a strong hold. And really, it's only been over the last 6 months that we've seen three, four, five, one, I think in one area in the lower mainland, a 6% decrease over the last 6 months. But year over year and over the last 2 years, these, these predictions of 20 to 30% price pullbacks, they're up. The housing market is up. And now we're heading into 2024, where we're going to see interest rates pull back, and we're going to see mass immigration, and everybody's got to live somewhere. And we don't have nearly enough homes to put everyone. So what does that create? It's going to create a frenzy. In my prediction, again, it's very hard to predict exactly what's going to take place, but we do seem to understand that when good news comes on, it comes on very strong. I talked about that in my last video. So that's what I'm seeing this year. I think 2024 is going to be a fantastic year. Of course, if you are in the market, or you want to just simply talk real estate with somebody who eats, sleeps, and breathes it on a regular basis, I'd be happy to sit down with you. No strings attached. Pick my brain, and I can fire some questions back to you. And besides that, I hope you all have a fantastic day. Enjoy the rest of our sunny and cold winter day.